Hello and welcome to Base Plate Reviews. Today we need to talk about The Legend of Zelda and specifically LEGO The Legend of Zelda. Maybe this video should be called The Lego of Zelda. I'm sure it hasn't passed you by that we've just seen the release of the highly detailed but somewhat expensive Great Deku Tree 2-in-1 set. Quick review, it's a great display set with top minifigs, but it's expensive and shouldn't have been a 2-in-1 set. You may have noticed that it actually sits in its own theme of The Legend of Zelda, which suggests that we should be seeing other sets in the theme. Now obviously I can't guarantee that will happen, but LEGO is certainly pretty heavily entwined with several video game franchises now, and there's no reason to believe that this will be a one-off. We have seen that before with the very popular Horizon Forbidden West Toolneck set that was out for about 18 months between 2022 and 2023. That didn't though sit under its own theme, and it looks like Zelda's going to be more like, although probably not as prolific as, most of the likes of Super Mario, Minecraft, Overwatch, Animal Crossing, Sonic the Hedgehog, and the upcoming and highly anticipated Fortnite sets. To be clear, the theme out of those that I just don't understand at all is Minecraft. As far as I'm concerned, the game is virtual Lego, so I don't know why you need it in physical Lego form as well. But there's no doubt it performs well for them, and it's been going for over 10 years now. Hey, this is why I'm not employed by LEGO to decide what they should produce. I'm sure Fortnite will do well. With the designs we've seen so far, it deserves to. But Zelda might actually sit a little closer to a non-video game range of sets, even if it is a theme that LEGO themselves have had a video game of, and that's The Lord of the Rings. The reason I say that Zelda is maybe closer to Lord of the Rings is twofold, and the first is the fantasy type setting that I still think is wanted by people but isn't being well served by the likes of Amazon's Rings of Power series or things like Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon. It's a bit too adult for a super wide audience. The other reason I say it is specifically in LEGO form, and that's because all we've seen in recent years from LEGO Lord of the Rings is two types of sets. Either brickheads, which clearly appeal to their own types of collectors. LEGO's answer to pop vinyl figs, anyone? Or we've seen super expensive display sets with highly detailed minifigures in Rivendell and this year's Barad-dûr. Does that description remind you of the Great Deku Tree? And we've seen nothing in between, no mid-range play sets or diorama type displays, like we have seen for Star Wars or even Jurassic Park. Now if you were going to ask me what I think LEGO might do with Zelda, I think I'd hazard a guess that, so long as the Great Deku Tree sells well, that we could be looking to see another $250 plus display set, and the complementary sets might indeed end up being brickheads. Maybe we'll see a 2-pack Zelda and Link set. That isn't what I want to happen, at least not just that, so really let's please not have that be the case. There is hope out there for it not to be, and that in part comes from blind optimism, of course, but also we can give our feedback with LEGO sets. There's the QR code at the back of booklets to leave feedback, and with the Great Deku Tree one, it was specifically asking what sets we'd like to see from this theme, and it got me thinking. Now I have a pretty good idea of some of the things I'd like to see, but there have also been plenty of Zelda LEGO ideas submissions over the years that haven't been successful, probably largely down to LEGO just not having the license, and then once having it, Nintendo and them wanting to do their own sets. A couple of things that I think would make great sets, and I'd really like to see LEGO do, have been down as ideas submissions before, and they are firstly the King of Red Lions, which is Link's boat/ship in the Wind Waker, and this was actually submitted as a LEGO idea nearly 15 years ago. I'm no fan of the actual ideas submission, sorry Flairlex, the creator, and just to be clear, I don't think I've got a tenth of that builder's talent, but I do think this could make a really displayable and not too highly priced set, whilst being able to get in a set for the Wind Waker, which in particular otherwise might struggle to be represented in LEGO form. The other set that I think would be awesome and has also been a LEGO Ideas submission, in this instance a great one, is one of the stables from Breath of the Wild, and the submission from Han Was Yellow First did get 10,000 supporters but was never approved. I think it would make a top tier display and play set, and you definitely want to include a couple of horses plus Link in the set, but I think this would be ideal to go alongside some of the castle/medieval sets that aren't Zelda themed. I do think it's important that Zelda is a defined individual theme, which is why I think some of the popular ideas for sets like Hyrule Castle isn't the routes that they should go for. It's not really a super unique castle in the games, and you can just imagine any castle to be Hyrule's, but maybe if they were to go for a huge building, then the Temple of Time wouldn't be a bad way to go. Personally, I think that if you want a really unique set, then the very best way to achieve that would be to do a Great Fairy Fountain set. This would be incredible in terms of colours, and with the design and personality of the Great Fairies, it does shine through even without having played the games. I think that this set could easily appeal to a crowd outside of core Zelda and Nintendo fans. Whether it be based on the unhinged Ocarina of Time Great Fairy, my personal choice, or the Great Fairies of Breath of the Wild who can be found inside giant flower buds. Imagine it opening up to reveal the fairy. I don't mind, just make this happen, LEGO. If we want another set that could be both play and display, we could have sets that showed off the watery Zora's Domain, or the Rito Village for the feathery Rito characters in Breath of the Wild. But if we're going off into different races of creatures in Zelda, then for me I'd love to see the Gorons at Death Mountain, but very specifically because I just want a Goron Big Fig in the style of Hulk, Thanos, or even Sandy from the Monkey Kid sets. How good would that be? So those are some of the things that I'd like to see, but like I said, I think brickheads are a very real possibility, and that would be a good way to get the original NES style Link into LEGO form, and I actually think that we might see some LEGO art in the pixelated NES style of Link from the original Legend of Zelda. We're just about to have the Super Mario World Mario and Yoshi set come out on October 1st, and I think this kind of style of set is what we can look forward to see with NES Link in the future too. What do you guys think? Are you happy that Legend of Zelda has its own line? Are there any things that you are desperate to see in LEGO form? Do you disagree completely with me and actually want a Hyrule Castle? Maybe you think the King of Red Lions is too niche, or you just hated the Wind Waker. I think we can all agree that there's never been a better idea in the history of humanity than a LEGO Great Fairy Fountain. Anyway, let me know in comments below, as we love to get a discussion going, and if you've enjoyed the video, hopefully you have, then leave a like and consider subscribing if you haven't already. And with that, I'll leave you and say, be good.